having been born and raised and lived my entire life in the Deep South, I knew that there was more that I needed to be exposed to about the effects of race and racial injustice, because I'd always lived in a very white world. And this was an opportunity for me to come around a table with individuals who were of all colors, all backgrounds, different sexes, and sit and just have open communication about what really is justice and what really is your story and my story about how we've interacted during our lives with race and other things, and then how can we bring about some reconciliation and some understanding within the confines of God's story, which was what Drew so just beautifully laid out over a period of the entire journey. So as a student of the Bible, I thought the Reconciler's journey was phenomenally helpful from the perspective of seeing the Bible's approach and God's approach to race and justice, and then taking it through to our story here in Glenn County and in the Deep South, and then lastly spending our time on really trying to unpack what's my story. And that was beautifully portrayed during the course of the 6 weeks. And then there's still lots of work to be done, both for me personally, which is why I'm advocating for my church, which happens to be on St. Simon's Island and is very white, to be a participant in offering the Reconciler's journey, because I believe that some people just haven't been exposed. And the exposure that can come through working through this process of God's story, our story, my story, can always be beneficial no matter what. There are so many, in my opinion, after having gone through this, there's so many pockets of deep hurt that I never knew existed because I lived in a very white world. I grew up in a community that was very white. I was born in 1960. In 1968, I went to a private school. Now, some would tell you that private school was founded because there was an effort to have greater educational opportunity. But most of us know that that school was founded because of segregation. And so I went to a private elementary school, middle school, high school. Then I went away to a private college. And then I went to a private law school. And so when I started practicing law, it was probably my first real exposure to working with and in a world that was anything less than white. And it was eye-opening. And since that time, I think I've just evolved into an understanding that I need to be more open to hearing other people's story and understanding what they went through in their lifetime, because our experiences are very different. And the pain that they feel, I want to feel some of that pain, because I don't think I felt that before. And I heard that in the messages that were given throughout the Reconciler's journey, pain that had come from individuals. It's not just a black pain. It's not just a pain that's felt by black people. It's not just a pain that's felt by immigrants. I mean, I'm sure I have some pain too. Part of my pain is that I didn't grow up recognizing that there were people around me that were very different. And so through the years, I've tried to bring myself to a point and continue to grow and still work at it, that I enjoy people of different backgrounds. And it really is life-giving to open yourself up to those kinds of communications, to understand more about what others go through.